Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth episode of Vested Interest with Gorgias. Vested Interest is an online pitch competition for D2C e-commerce brands. My name is Rohan. I manage our investor partnerships at Gorgias, and we're super excited to continue this series as a way to help companies scale. Through 3 episodes, we've been able to line up 9 different conversations between investors and brands, and we're looking forward to that trending up. For those watching that are unfamiliar, Gorgias is an e-commerce focused help desk with deep integrations with BigCommerce, Shopify, and Magento. And we work with a ton of amazing brands all along the D2C spectrum that are potentially great investment opportunities for investors. The format today is as follows. We will have 3 brands pitch to a panel of 3 investors. Each brand will have 10 minutes for their pitch, and they'll be sharing a deck. They're welcome to share anything with respect to the background of their business, how much capital they're looking to raise, what they do with the capital, revenue numbers and other stats, so on and so forth. The investors on the panel will then have 10 to 15 minutes collectively to ask questions based on anything and everything that was either said or not said during the pitch. Excited to announce that our official co-hosts and sponsors for this event are BigCommerce and The Jive. BigCommerce is a leading software as a service platform for e-commerce and are offering 3 months free on all paid plans for the participants. Their platform allows brands to enjoy out-of-the-box features that drive more traffic and convert more sales for their growing businesses. Jive is a progressive agency that does its most rewarding and best work with better life brands, those that enrich the lives of their customers by offering products and experiences that enhance the feelings of well-being. Jive, in collaboration with their sister company, Rise, is offering 15 hours of e-commerce advisory services with their team of experts for the participants. They offer a wide range of e-commerce services, which allows them to help brands identify areas of opportunity and risk. Okay, so the stars of the show, let's introduce the investors. On the panel today, we have Mira Clark, consumer-focused investor at Obvious Ventures, Wesley Gottesman, principal at Brand Foundry Ventures, and Nicole Ferrara, vice president at Encore Consumer Capital. And I'm just going to turn it over to them for some quick intros. And Mira, if you don't mind, would you like to kick things off for us?
Happy to. Thanks, Rohan, and nice to meet you, everyone, today. As Rohan said, Mira Clark, consumer investor at Obvious Ventures, an early stage venture capital fund and B Corp here in San Francisco. We invest in brands and digital platforms that are really building a world that we're excited about living in. And so within consumer products, a lot of our investments are focused both on better for you food and good for you goods. So really thinking about taking both health and sustainability angles to the businesses that we're backing.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Mira. Great to have you. And Wesley, do you want to follow that up for us?
Sure. I work at Brand Foundry Ventures. We're an early stage consumer fund. Based in Austin and New York. We're typically writing about $1 million checks in leading seed rounds. So excited to meet these entrepreneurs.
They're excited to meet you. And Nicole, last but not least.
Hi, everyone. Good to meet you. Happy to be here. I'm Nicole Ferrara, Vice President at Encore Consumer Capital. Encore focuses exclusively on investments in the consumer space. We're a bit unique in the way that we invest in high growth brands and provide marketing, D2C, and overall channel strategy. But we also invest in manufacturers and distribution companies, which allows us to provide a full 360 approach up and down the entire supply chain. So excited to meet everyone today.
Great, thanks a lot, Nicole. 3 high quality investors to say the least. And the other stars of the show, on the brand side, we have 3 phenomenal brands. As usual, our first brand is Wolico, pitched by Terry White. Wolico is a D2C active apparel brand founded on a thesis and built for the future. They're aiming to be the next great active apparel brand in the sustainable active apparel category, crafted specifically for the everyday millennial. The second brand is Triple Bristle, pitched by Max Babiner. Triple Bristle is an oral care brand that sells 3-sided sonic toothbrushes. It's undergoing overwhelming exponential growth due to rapid market acceptance and successful business development efforts led by a serial entrepreneur and a team of veteran marketing professionals. And finally, we'll have Knox Labs, pitched by Tehran. Knox Labs has extensive history both in manufacturing virtual reality accessories and in virtual and augmented reality development. with the main purpose of making virtual reality more accessible. They live for innovation in technology and have developed some pretty cool products since inception. At the end of the third brand, the investors and I will sync up to pick a winner based on the brand itself, potential for growth, overall likelihood to invest, and overall feel. Ongoing thank you to our partners who provide perks and discounts for the participating brands on vested interest. Mute6, Rewind, Hawk Media, OmniSend, SMS Bump, InSocial, #paid, and Okendo. And in addition, we also have offers exclusive to the winner from Kinship, Kronos, SwayPay, and Class Rebel. Phenomenal offers from these partners, and we'll be sure to get you all more info on who they are and what they do after the webinar. And lastly, before I stop talking and hand this over to the stars, we have $120 Uber Eats gift cards or vouchers rather to give away. So Travis on my side is going to drop a code into the chat at some point during the webinar. First come, first serve on those 100. So act fast, grab some lunch, and tune in to watch the show. Okay, that is it for me. We're going to bring up Terry from Wolico to show us his pitch.
Hey, team.
Hey, Terry, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you? All.
I could not be better now that you're here. So that's great. Are you excited for the pitch?
I am excited. This is really cool. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Well, I won't say too much more. I'm going to pass the floor to you. Can you find the button where you can share your screen? Should be on the bottom on the right there.
Yes, I see it.
There you go. So hit that. As soon as you pop up your screen, I'll start the 10-minute timer and the floor is yours.
Okay. Let's make sure I have this right. Let's share this. Okay, so it looks like I am sharing the screen. Let me get the deck. Can you see my deck?
Yep, we can see the deck now. There you go.
Awesome. Let's view this in enter full screen. All good?
Got it.
Can you guys see? This looks good? Okay,
yeah, it looks great.
All right. Awesome. Well, first things first, thank you guys so much for listening. This is, and for everybody that's tuning in, this is really cool. This is fun. This is efficient, which I love. So my name's Terry. I'm the founder of Wolico. Wolico stands for Way of Life Athletic Company. And these 5 words really sum up what the brand represents. It's a way of life. This is the concept that our customers just understand. So I want to leave that with you just to start this conversation. So the active way of life, this is really what the brand is predicated on. This is why I created Wolico. We believe in a wholly active life, no division or compartmentalization, no work time versus workout time, no this day versus that day. It's all connected. And that's the concept that really unites our brand and brings our customers together. So I founded Wolico on a singular product. I'll get more into the story soon, but this is our hero product. We've driven almost 2 million in sales on this compression short. It's a sweat-proof compression short, or it's a compression short built with 2 sweat-proof compressive pockets, one designed to store a phone, another for keys, cash, and credit cards. So why does Wolico exist? In my opinion, the world doesn't need another active apparel brand. It needs an active apparel brand that can set a higher standard. And really where that comes from, what that means to me is it means a higher standard, one, in the way that we construct the active apparel product, and two, the way in which we interface and communicate and really add value back to our customer. Because at the end of the day, the lifestyle that we promote and we champion is all about health, and it's all about improvement. So it's important that as a brand, we're communicating authentically to our customer. So it's really those two points of standard that we look to elevate in the overall market. So that's where Woolco comes from. It's our initiative. It's our responsibility to become the next great active apparel brand. We're a brand that focuses on sustainable active apparel by building apparel products, technical apparel products that last and that are core to our customers' lifestyle. We're a brand that's constructed specifically for this millennial customer, an everyday millennial customer, one that in many ways is overlooked, largely due to the fragmented nature of the active apparel landscape. Lots of fashion, lots of activity-specific brands. We're here to provide a lifestyle brand for this massive niche. Lastly, how are we gonna connect with that customer? It's through authenticity, it's through transparency, and we leverage media to do so. So for me, where did Woolco really come from? I am a former athlete. I played every sport under the sun. The pinnacle of my athletic career was a lacrosse player at Harvard. I was the captain of my team there. And really, for me, why that became so important was that when I left that world and I moved into the real world, I needed to figure out how to maintain an active and healthy lifestyle and to how to really integrate it. And the thing that stood out to me was not only how challenging it was, but when I could figure it out and when I realized how to best integrate it into my day-to-day life, I realized that I was actually becoming the best version of myself. And that's what gave me the opportunity to really maximize my potential as a person. And the more that I looked around, the more that I felt there wasn't really a brand existing for that reason. And that's where the idea for Woolco came to be. Soon thereafter, quite serendipitously, living here in New York City, I had an idea for our first product, leaving my apartment to go for a run, carrying my phone in my hand, stuffing apartment keys into my socks. I got back to my apartment and I realized there's got to be a better way to do this. I'm going to be running for the rest of my life. I am 24 years old and I'm just getting started. So there's got to be a better solution here. And that's where the idea for the compression short came to be. I launched it on Kickstarter. We raised $120,000 in 30 days. And that was in December into January of 2014, 2015. So it's been about 5 years since launching on Kickstarter. Since then, we've taken an extremely organic approach to building this brand from the ground up. And what that has given us is very unique context into our customer, into product market fit. And we've been able to achieve all of this on a very lean budget. It positions us specifically or particularly well to raise the seed financing, where we're looking for $1.5 to $2 million to really take this body of work and drive it into the future and really grow the brand. And community has been the foothold for making this brand special. So we build product intentionally for the active way of life. What that means is that to us, the active way of life is not confined by the four walls of an Equinox gym. It is comprised of three major categories: city, outdoor, and the coastal region. Within each of these pockets of geography, if you're just looking at the United States, each of these athletes dresses a little bit differently. But for us, our goal is to build high quality technical apparel for this active way of life, not for one singular activity. And we've really started with the city landscape. And here's a little screenshot around what sustainability means to us. And I think the key factor is that sustainability really originates from smart design. If you're not building great products with intention and with the end user in mind, then you're setting yourselves up for an extremely unsustainable supply chain. And it's one of the things that we do particularly well. We understand our customer, we develop product methodically, and the final factor that really brings it full circle is the concept of transparency. If you don't have transparency, none of that really matters. You don't give your customers a chance to really embrace what it is to embrace the approach that you're taking. So that's one of the things that we champion. And as we raise this round of capital, a major focus is going to be opening up our media channel to really tell the story in more depth. And this is just us highlighting that YouTube will really be our primary focus for content generation and production. It sets us up really well to kind of cascade content production into different channels, paid media, organic social, and it's a really great way for us to connect with our authentic community, or connect with our community authentically. Our demographics. One of the things that really makes us different, if you were to look at our peers in the market, we are striking a chord with the millennial customer. From the ages of really 18 to 34 is our sweet spot. Whereas I think if you were to look at the broader landscape, especially in the men's active apparel category, a lot of our competitors are not hitting that mark. We are really the only brand in this space that is really hitting that mark. And for me, that's extremely important because we're building the future. We're building a future of active apparel. And it's also really important for me to highlight psychographics, because largely that is what our customer, that is how we define our customer. Health and fitness as social life, they're professionally ambitious, and health and active are their number one priority. We have a great body of work set on the digital front. The majority of our revenue comes from e-commerce, and we look at this financing event as a particularly exciting opportunity to scale out this program. As I alluded to before, we've been bootstrapped, so we have not been able to allocate a significant spend to our paid acquisition efforts, but we have been able to spend enough to know that we are particularly well positioned to really ramp this up. And I think the thing that's important to touch upon is that at the core of everything, the core of our business, the core of our product set, we have product that solves a problem that's performing extremely well in the digital environment, and it sets us up well to really build a technical engine to go out and acquire new customers more efficiently. So we're seeing conservative numbers, a $30 CAC. We've got $130 12-month LTV that's growing year over year, and about $85 first purchase value, and we're breaking profitability on first purchase. So this is our growth pattern. In 2019, we did about 870,000. This year, we're on track to do 1.2 million, and that's on an extremely lean marketing budget. So we're seeing a lot of organic growth. Some of that lean marketing budget is actually due to a decision that I've made to extend my runway to raise capital through this pandemic. Fortunately, our business has performed quite well through the pandemic, putting our business into profitability even sooner than expected. But I think really important to highlight is that with this capital injection, we actually plan to reach a sustainable point of profitability by the end of 2021. Lastly, worth mentioning is that though we are majority focused on e-commerce, we have an extremely evangelical community built here in New York City, and we're well positioned to build this concept that I like to call the way of life shop, which will begin as a two-year plan to pop up seasonally, both here in New York City and our other major markets, LA, Chicago, Boston, all of which leading to a 2020 retail brick and mortar event that is permanent for the Wolico brand. Being so community based, this gives us a unique opportunity to bring our customers in. One of the things that we do that's really special here in New York City is that we host a weekly workout that was slowed down by the pandemic, where we were attracting upwards of 200 people every single morning at 6:30 a.m. for workouts every single week from, I think, May 1st to November 1st. So we're very good at moving people to places. And in my opinion, that is the future of retail. You need to give people more of more than just the apparel to give them more of a reason to show up to retail than just apparel. And that's one of the kind of secret sauces that our team has proven that we can execute. So in summary, we're raising 1.5 to 2 million. We're extremely focused on marketing. We've been able to establish strategic partnerships to execute on portions of our marketing plan that are going to allow us to remain extremely capital light for the next 18 to 24 months. And what that's going to allow us to do is actually use the vast majority of this marketing spend to go out and reach new customers and really turn on the top of the funnel and attract more interest in towards this great brand and product set that we've constructed. We do need to also invest in product development. We've built this business on a very condensed SKU set. Our approach to expanding our product offering will continue to be lean, or will continue to be methodical, but we do need to increase our capacity there to further stretch lifetime value out of our customers. We have a small but mighty team. This is the crew. Only 4 of us are only full time, and I've actually assembled an active advisory cohort where I have a financial controller, head of financial strategy, a marketing advisor, and an operations advisor. And then this is a cast of senior advisors, and that concludes it. We are raising 1.5 million in our seed financing. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thanks a lot, Terry. A lot of good comments in the chat about how good that pitch was. I think a lot of people are a fan of the brand as well. Love the sustainable aspect, but overall, love to see it. And we're going to pass this over to the investors for questions now. So whoever wants to start things off, please go for it.
I'm happy to kick things off, and congrats again, Terry, on all of your progress. It's really impressive. I think it's clear to us that you have this, really excited core customer base. It would be great to hear a little bit more about how you're thinking about customer acquisition as it relates to really scaling the brand, both in terms of attracting new users and continuing to drive that LTV higher with new product rollouts, retention activity, what have you.
Yeah, so admittedly, we have not been sophisticated enough on the digital kind of marketing framework. And one of the things I've been able to do this year is I've been able to align with just the best in the e-commerce business here in New York City. And we've been able to really deep dive, and we understand that we're able to acquire customers on Facebook, Instagram, and Google at an extremely competitive price point that matches up really nicely with our unit economics. So for me, it's an iterative program, but really for the next 18 to 24 months, a large part of our commitment is focused on digital. It's focused on Facebook, Instagram, and Google as our primary traffic driving tools. And on top of that, we, as I mentioned, we've been an extremely engaged customer base that we do a great job keeping engaged through the way that we communicate over email and different forms of organic social, soon to be YouTube and further expansion into media. But product launch is extremely powerful for us. Every time we put new products in the market, we have a ton of buzz and real strong revenue moments. So SKU expansion is important. We've kind of identified between actually men's and women's apparel the kind of core skeleton of product that we need to build into over the course of the next 18 to 24 months, and we're already on the way to doing that. And we have I think 5 or 6 new styles that are landing between now and the end of the year, and then we have a more structured build out, seasonal build out plan for 2021. So it's a balance between really driving the top of funnel, being methodical with new SKU expansion, and and listening to data.
I can jump in next. I will echo the comments of congratulations on your success so far. Would love to learn a little bit more about your supply chain, how you work with your manufacturers and how you're getting products to folks. Shipping as a D2C brand can be expensive, but it also is kind of integral to the operation. So would love to dig in there.
Yeah, so we're set up with 3 manufacturers. We have 1 domestic and two that are in Asia. Our one criteria with any of our manufacturing partners is that they are in fact partners, and that they are willing to work with us on low minimums. They're willing to develop product with us, and they're also willing to be financial partners for our brand. So we have that established with 3 separate manufacturers. And it's important to mention because we're at this point. We talk about scaling and taking the next step as a brand. Our supply chain is mature, and we are in a place where we can develop new product quickly. We can place small orders when we need to, and we can turn product around quickly. We still handle the fulfillment ourselves. I've actually used 3PL. I've used a couple different 3PL services in the past, but then just identified kind of inefficiencies, and we were kind of deprioritized as a smaller brand. But as we reach scale, the plan is either to find a great 3PL partner. I was actually on the phone with one this morning, or actually take it in-house and control our variable costs. I think having a distribution hub for product, all of our product, whether it's for pop-up or e-com, and being actually able to control that ourselves is a huge advantage, and gives us more flexibility. So I'm kind of running the model on that scenario as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Terry, and definitely glad to meet you. And one of my sort of fundamental questions is that early in the deck, you mentioned that the active apparel industry is broken. When you say it's broken, I'm curious sort of in which ways it's broken and why that's the case for some of these larger players.
Synthetic fibers are a massive problem, and nobody's really acknowledged it. And it's a rush to pump catalogs into the market with absolutely really kind of no awareness of what it's really doing to the world. So that's a major part of it. There's a bit of negligence, and I think, in my opinion, within the next 2 to 3 years, if the apparel industry at large is not addressing these issues proactively, I think there will be sanctions placed upon brands. And apparel brands complain about tariffs every day, but I think it only gets worse if you can't address these problems appropriately. And it's a very sophisticated problem. It's not just synthetic fibers. It's transit times cross continental. Are you airing it? Are you putting it on a boat? Are you working with ethical partners? It's really about the sustainability of the process. But I think technical apparel in particular, a lot of the large incumbents are purchasing fibers at volume and warehousing them, polyesters and nylons, and then they're weaving the fabrics based on the fibers that they've already acquired for the next 5 years, with the next 5 years in mind, and it's cost them tens, if not hundreds of millions in investments. So I look at it as an opportunity just to set a higher standard and do it the right way. And we'll pull, and that's why transparency is so important. For me, it's just the kind of entrepreneur I am. I think I like to think of Woolico as a little bit of kind of the Patagonia of active apparel. That's the direction that we're heading.
Thanks.
Do we have time for one more question?
Yeah, we have time for one more for sure.
Fabulous. I guess one last question, as you kind of think about the sustainability angle, and I know you referenced Patagonia, a brand that's near and dear to our hearts at Obvious. Would be curious to hear your perspective on who your competitors are today, and kind of who you see yourselves evolving into over time. If you think about the past as being, athleisure 1.0, and the future, which is hopefully going to be more sustainability oriented, as being athleisure 2.0.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a brand I was looking at yesterday. I was trying to remember the name that I thought was a great kind of representation of what Woolico will become. But I think athleisure is it's very fashion reliant. It's very fashion laden, and that is challenging. It's a very difficult business. It's fast fashion. You rely on constant replenishment, and every product that you put into the market is a gamble because you don't know if people are going to like that color. So the majority of athleisure is built on that, and I think that is an inherent danger to those brands and those businesses. What we're doing is more foundational. We're understanding our customer intimately and building technical apparel for that exact customer. And, I think if you can focus more on quality and on the technical components and the functionality for your end user, what do they really actually need versus what's the kind of a gimmick I can build into this product, then I think you're going to win in the long term. And that's our approach. That's our long-term approach. In terms of competitors, I would say Rhone, since we are predominantly male at this point. Rhone, 10,000, Vuori are really the three that I think of. But when you look at, actually a good example would be Rhone. Rhone, and I know their founders and they're awesome guys, and they love Woolico too. But I think what they would tell you is that their customer or the success that they are seeing is more in the built-out kind of professional closet of their customer. They've actually started moving away from technical first apparel for the active lifestyle because they're just seeing better success. They weren't doing anything very special or specific in the active category. So they started to hit some wins with dress pants, kind of knocking off the Lululemon ABC pant, going into formal wear, and that's where they're really starting to see things happen. And on top of it, their customer is 38 to 75 years old. That's their sweet spot. They're completely missing where we reside. So I call them our competitors, but they're more, to me, they're more peers, and it kind of validates really where we're focusing and why we're focusing where we are.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thanks for the questions, guys. And Terry, again, phenomenal pitch. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to pull you off stage, but you did a really, really good job. I think everyone in the chat had great things to say as well, in addition to the investors. And then we're also going to bring up Max from Triple Bristle, who's going to be the second pitch this afternoon. But thanks a lot, Terry, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Buddy. Okay. Okay. Awesome. So Max, I'm shooting you an invite right now to hop on stage. Great start to episode 4.
Hey guys.
Hey Max, how are you?
All is well, thank you. How is everything?
Everything is going fantastic. Love to see you with the branding on your apparel this afternoon. I think that's definitely going to help.
Representing right here.
Yeah, exactly.
I only use this like once or twice a year. But
maybe
now
you should
that everybody's...
Maybe you should.
You don't need to lie to us. That's your daily outfit. If you're like Doug in my closet, I totally understand.
He wears it every day. You should probably ask Terry.
I do wear it every day. I have a pajama set with my logo on it too, and my baby twins have like onesies with the.
There you go. That's what you need. Okay, well, the stage is yours. You can share your screen. Bottom right-hand side is the icon for it. And as soon as I see that come up, I'll start the 10-minute timer for you and we can get going. Just a sec.
You guys see it?
It's coming up now. Yep, looks good to me. Stage is yours.
All right. Triple Bristle is an oral health care brand undergoing exponential growth. We've got everything in place. We've got manufacturing, we've got the team, we've got the product. We're just experiencing one challenge, and that's the explosive growth, which requires extensive capital and inventory to keep up with. August was about the same as July, and it's a testament to how much people are adopting to three-sided brushing. So why are we growing so much? Because we know that market saturation needs to happen if this product is going to be a success. We want people to go into their friends' bathrooms and seeing it in their bathrooms and ask questions. And that's why 2021, we're headed towards 15 million. It's also going to put us on the radar of larger corporate partners that can take this global, something that we've started, but we really know needs to happen if people's oral health globally is going to improve dramatically. Why do we need three-sided brushes? Well, single-headed brushes miss 30% of tooth surfaces. And that's not just my idea, that's the literature. But it's not their fault. It's not that people don't want perfect oral health. It's just that the tool they've been given isn't really designed for three-dimensional teeth. Our teeth aren't flat, so why are we using a flat toothbrush? Three-sided brushing just makes a lot more sense. It's a better clean in 1/3 the time. It engages the gum line and sweeps away plaque. And the most critical part is you don't have to try and figure it out and have a sensitive technique. It just works. You put it on, you gently lead it along the gums, and they're clean. That's just how that works. So here you can kind of get an idea of how the product functions. This is a toothpaste we offer in our subscription. And here you can see the patented brush head, how it's going right into the gum line, sweeping away the plaque, sweeping away the staining. You know, the first thing people say when they use it, wow, I feel like I just got back from the dentist. So our existing toothbrush offering is 70% profit margin. And main thing to note here, there's something for everybody. We've got price points going from $10 to $110. So we're targeting different market segments. And the most important part is the consumables, 90% profit margin, but something that people have to continually buy to continue their oral health journey. The top are the replacement brush heads. On the bottom, you see our consumables. The idea is as people trust us with their teeth by using our toothbrush, they start to transition to our brand and start using the consumables. All these I use myself, and I am a dentist, so you know, this is not something I would sell where I don't use it personally. We make a brush head that actually fits an existing handle. There's a brand called Sonicare that already has millions of handles out there globally. And this is like an easy way to introduce three-sided brushing right into your routine. You just slap on the brush head and all of a sudden you have an amazing three-sided brushing technology. We are introducing other products as we go along, again, to round out the brand. We want people to know Triple Bristle as the place to go to get all their oral hygiene things because it's easier, it's dentist tested, and it's just a great experience overall. We do have 4.5-star Amazon reviews. What does this really mean? Besides product quality, amazing customer service. We have customer service people in-house. We always make it right. That's our mantra, just make it right. And the reason we've been growing so quickly, this year we're about 2.8 million year to date, is here. These are actual posts from our social media campaigns. The two on the left here Obviously, nobody's paid for this. These are just random people posting. 2 on the left here are hygienists. So these are dental hygienists that took time out of their day, went on Facebook, went on our paid sponsored ads, and told people how much they love the brush. I mean, this is as good a social proof as you can get. And it's really why we're able to get such low costs per acquisition and why we're growing so quickly, because people are recommending it outside of e-commerce as well. Besides consumers, we were independently verified by dentists. Clinicians Report is a well-reputed dental publication. We were given Best New Products for 2019 in the oral hygiene space. We have 2 US patents and a principal registered trademark. So only we can manufacture and sell this 3-sided brush. That's important because we're really ramping up and we really need the consumable sales to be super profitable. And to understand our business, the e-commerce portion at least, you have to understand this slide right here. We have immediate profitability and revenue on one hand, and the way that works is through scalable media ads. So Facebook, Google, Instagram. Average cost per acquisition is $80, and the average order value is about 100, but that's not the exciting part. The exciting part is every $1,000 we spend in paid media ads, we get a quarter of that back as a halo effect. So as we ramp this up, even if we're just breaking even on our Facebook ad campaigns and our funnels, we're getting astronomical growth on Amazon and our website. On the other hand is the Triple Bristle Brush Club. Now, the Triple Bristle Brush Club is a way to try 3-sided brushing for $10. I get it, 3-sided brushes, it's big, is it gonna fit in my mouth? It looks strange, but for $10, maybe I'll try it. So that's how we get people to really try it, and that's how we're saturating the market and sending out, hundreds daily to get this in people's hands. Once they get in their hands, once they like it, then they're subscribed to every 3-month brush head sales. When do they really stick around? When they go to their dentist and the dentist says, "What have you been doing differently?" And they're like, "Well, I just changed my toothbrush." And they're like, "Don't change what you're doing." And those are the people that stick around and pay every 3 months for the brush head subscription. Just like I said, our cost to get the customer is about $10 to $13. A lifetime customer value is about 110 at this point. And the profit margin is 90% on the brush heads. So you can see after that break even of about 50 to 90 days, at that point, we're just printing money because brush head is 65 to 75 cents to make. We ship it for about $10. It's, very easy basic math. Here's what you can see. That's the result of the subscription program, the ramp up in brush head sales. We expect this graph to be a lot more successful by year's end. And we also do have a business-to-business portion. Besides the consumer portion, we have Benco Dental. It's access to 40,000 dental offices across the US. And we also have the part that I'm personally very excited about. It's the untapped market. It's special needs. There's no incumbents in this space. So this cohort badly needs this product that we've made. It's a desensitization kit. It's a way to brush teeth safely. It makes oral hygiene safer and more predictable. And what we want is to have this in the hands of every therapist for every ABA therapy appointment, every special needs dentist. And that's what I'm personally working on as hard as I can because I know the product is needed and all we need is awareness. The company is led by myself and Brock Bourne. I invented the original Triple Bristle. I do all the quality control and I do all new product development testing. Because I'm a practicing dentist, I get privy to dental information that others would not. And Brock is just an incredible business leader, marketer he's a unicorn when it comes to e-commerce. He was a VP of PepsiCo South Florida for 15 years, took an early retirement, built and sold 5 separate brands, And he's really the reason we have grown so quickly in a sustainable fashion. We are supported by an incredible team. This obviously isn't a one-man show. These people help us to scale the business and support us as we grow. Same thing with the product development and quality control team. We only use dependable manufacturing facilities that can scale. If we go from 50,000 units to 300,000 units, that's as easy as writing an email. No issues there. And of course, the financials. Year to date, we're about 2.8 million. We're projected to hit 6. And by next year, we'd like to be at 15. I find that that's the magical inflection point at which brands really start to take off and saturate the market. We can easily fit into these acquisition models. Everybody probably knows Billy, acquired by Procter & Gamble this year, approximately 7x revenue multiple, and then Dollar Shave Club, which acquired by Unilever for a 5x revenue multiple. We personally put in a bunch of money. Last year, we did a debt round for $622,000, and we're doing a Series Seed for $1.5 million as expansion capital to really stock up and not be scared of running out of inventory and advertising. I look forward to your questions. I'm really excited to hear from you. If you have any suggestions or ideas or connected to special needs or this sector, please shoot me an email. Happy to send along a sample.
Max, phenomenal. Wow, that's a really refined pitch. I don't think you've ever done that before, have you?
I did. I mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I always love positive feedback.
There you go. Sounded great. And again, a lot of good comments in the chat on the right-hand side, but we'll open this up to the 3 investors now for questions.
Awesome. I'm happy to kick things off. And again, congrats on all the progress. It's really impressive. And I am mind blown in terms of the need to order this product. I guess it'd be great to double down a little bit on the financials. You know, I know you're leveraging some third-party sellers, so would love to hear a little bit about your contribution margin as you think about kind of particularly within wholesale. And then additionally, as you think about, you know, your longer-term LTV to CAC potential, what percentage of your revenue is coming from returning customers, and kind of how do you think about what, you know, repeat purchases are likely to look like over time?
Awesome question. Thank you. So wholesale is a core focus right now. And the obvious reason is it's like free money, because we take 50% up front. And then when we ship the remainder, it's pure profit. So we do have wholesale partners, one in South Korea, one that's doing UK, EU. And we actually have a person actively searching, I believe hired this week, for distributors globally. I have all the metrics for you in like a very detailed slide as to returning customers. At this point, our subscription's been running close to a year. At about a year, we see about a 53% remain with us, which is much better than what we were hoping for. And industry standard is way lower. Different markets, of course. Subscription is like 18 to 35, more millennial based. And then our rechargeable, more expensive models are 45 plus, 45 to 65 is typical. We find that women make most of the healthcare decisions for the household. So often the mother will buy one for herself, one for the kids, one for the other mother-in-law, so it's like, it works that way. We see an upward trend in brush head resales, which tells us that people are continuing to use the product and coming back for the consumable. I'm not sure if I missed any part of the question.
No, that was super helpful. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
I can jump in real quick. Would love to dig in a little bit more to your channels, knowing that your own.com and Amazon are important channels just generally, but also for this product. What is the split between those two, and how do you see your channel strategy evolving over time?
So obviously we do want to transition away and own the customer. That's a hyper focus. We've done a really good job of that this year. Anything coming from social media goes to our site or the subscription funnel. And both of those, we own the customer. We have 70,000 user email list right now that we can leverage for specials or new product introductions. Those are critical as we move forward. Actual numbers, 1.5 million year to date is about Amazon this year. The remainder is split between the subscriptions like 450, and then the rest is the web. So I would say at this point, we're just over 50% Amazon. As we continue to grow, we're obviously want to own the customer and get to a position where Amazon, is maybe 20 to 30%. And then there are other channels that we control and we do all the communication are all our own.
And maybe a quick follow-up to that.
Sure.
Split of your sales. What's the split between the brush itself as well as some of the brush heads and the floss, the ones where you're going to see the repeat purchase dynamics?
That's a core focus for us right now. One of the challenges that we're facing is strictly technology, because there's no out-of-the-box perfect subscription website where people can add to the cart, add something else, make it all subscriptions, change the timing. And we're targeting end of this year to have all that built out. We actually have an in-house 4-person tech team that's like working feverishly to get this done, because this is the obvious way to build a brand where people can, manipulate all the different products and timing of those products. Right now, the toothpaste that we're partnered with, it's a patented European toothpaste that remineralizes enamel. It's amazing. That's been our big push. The other things, the floss and the picks, we're just really waiting for the technology to make a big impact, but they do definitely add incremental revenue as we're growing. I can get the exact numbers for you, but I can tell you the really impressive stuff will probably be January of next year, when we can integrate everything into an ecosystem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Maxim. I really want to sort of get to the root of you and your entrepreneurial journey here and try to understand what made you decide to take this as like a D2C concept instead of using, your patent, using your, acumen within the space to create a supply chain ingredient for Sonicare or other players.
So my big thing is, I know that 3-sided brushing is desperately needed globally. I know that. But when you're a bigger player and you're looking at the market trends, you're not going to really move until you see the revenues and the market shifting that way. I see the future. I mean, we're building this market, and licensing would be tough to explain to like an executive, like, well, I know this is going to make a huge difference in oral health. They'd be like, yeah, well, I don't know if people are going to buy. We're the only 3-sided brush that's ever really entered the market and penetrated and is getting market saturation. We are the only ones that can do it. It's part design, part marketing team, part timing. But we've combined 3-sided brush and a sonic vibration handle. So that's the core concept and the core technology. We've taken 2 technologies, combined it, and that's what's protected by our patent. And I believe in the concept, and I know we have to grow the market and show the bigger players that this is the future. And then once they see it, they'll feel comfortable partnering with us and, transitioning this to like a big global play. I think in 5 years, a 3-sided brush is going to be like, oh yeah, which one do you use, 1-sided or 3-sided? It's not going to be this like niche, thing that people are like, oh, that's a neat idea. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, definitely. As far as like the team dynamics that sort of make this an e-commerce brand, how have you sort of come up with the branding and marketing to date? And then like who's on the team moving forward? If I'm taking up too much time, Ron,
the team is
correct me.
everything. Yeah, sorry. Stop me if you don't need, if you want me. But the team is everything. I mean, this team, it's taken 3 years to build out. And everybody's kind of like our logistics manager, the guy that ships the product to you when you buy it from our site. He was the postmaster for Guam. Like he was doing like hundreds of thousands of packages going into like Japan from the US. So, you know, this guy knows everything logistics. You know, Brock, I already mentioned, is just like, this isn't like it just happened. This is like a concentrated effort by everybody hustling every single day.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Matt. Thanks a lot, Max. That was phenomenal. Really good Q&A period as well. And we're just on time here, so no worries. Also wanted to point out that Max is a customer of ours, and hopefully he's very, very happy with.
Yeah, we love it. We love it. I
what
mean,
he's
that's how we found out. Amazing company.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
And in honor of you, Max, we're going to post a discount code in the chat right now for anyone that's interested in using Gorgias. You can get your second month free.
You're all welcome.
Aside from that plug right there, Max, you did a phenomenal job with Triple Bristle, and you're continuing to trend up, so that's fantastic. Going to kick you off stage for now. Unfortunately, we're going to bring up Tehran from Knox Labs, but thanks so much for the time, and we'll be in touch to announce a winner, of course.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Have a
Max.
great day.
Okay. Gonna pull up Tehran.
Hey guys.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Awesome presentation.
Fantastic. Well, we're excited to see yours as well. I am going to immediately turn it over to you and let you get started. This is Tehran from Knox Labs, phenomenal company in VR and AR, and I'll let him tell you some more.
Thank you.
You just share your screen on the right hand at the bottom.
Rohan, share screen is disabled. Hold on. Oh, I can do share media, yeah? Rohan, sorry, the share screen is disabled. Do I do share a media? Ah, there it is. Okay, it worked. Okay. Good. Oops. Okay. All right. So I'm a founder at Knox Labs. We are making VR accessible for both vendors and consumers. So we started out in okay, sorry. So we started out in 2014. We were the first ones to manufacture Google Cardboards. Google Cardboards it's kind of like the most accessible and affordable option to get into VR. We started mass manufacturing in 2014 when they came out, and we were one of the first Google VR partners. And we ended up manufacturing about 3.5 million Google Cardboards, which is about 30% of all the mobile headsets in the world at the time. And then afterwards, we got into a stage where we were working with a lot of top named brands like Coors Light, Marc Jacobs, Boeing, and these brands wanted like an innovative way to do marketing. So we would offer them cardboard branded with their brand and a VR application that would go with it. So we started building a lot of custom VR apps and realized that we can instead take this and turn it into a platform of its own. This was in 2017, where there weren't a lot of tools to build VR applications, especially for front-end developers, like people that do websites. So we built a platform where you could easily use your website building skills to build a VR application that would run on all the headsets. So you would build once and deploy everywhere. So we got into Techstars with this, went pretty far, but we couldn't get good product market fit. Amazon released a very similar product, but they ended up making the same mistakes as we did. So we ended up just reabsorbing back into Knox Labs and started doing more custom work, like acting as a VR studio. So we did that for 2 years. And then in 2019, last year, I decided to turn Knox Labs into more of a VR marketplace, where one-stop shop for anything VR. So concentration has been more on niche VR products that you can't really find anywhere else, and with it, mainstream products. So we work closely with manufacturers that do not have a US representation, but have phenomenal VR products, such as like this treadmill or gloves that you can wear to feel objects in VR. So either from like Netherlands, South Korea, China. So we have our fulfillment in-house as well. So we are able to either partner or bulk and do distribution, do marketing, customer support. So we end up representing this company in the US, whichever company we take on. And so, but also with it, about 20% of the funds we make, we put into a new product called Knock Knock. We launched this in March 2019. So it's Knock Knock by Knox Labs. They're VR offices. These are branded VR spaces where we build out rooms for remote teams. So you think of it as like Zoom for VR. We could have this meeting in there, and I could have presented it there. So we launched in March 2019. We already have a first client for this. They're an online school where we're building out their VR classrooms. So we got a $20K contract with them, plus they're paying us $2,500 a month. And we haven't even launched on the VR app stores. So we're planning to launch at the end of October. So we're also partners there with Facebook on their Oculus VR business program. With Knock Knock, the general model is we charge per user per month. And with the main marketplace has been doing well too. Last 3 months, we've been doing constant 30K a month. September, we're already at 60K. I think we will hit close to 80 or 100K this month. So goal is to do 100K a month by December for the e-commerce, 500K for March 21, and I think it's safe to say we'll be able to do 1 million ARR next year. And then for our product, Knock Knock, that's the road plan is we're doing the Oculus store launch in October. In December, we're doing another store launch at their other headset. By December, we aim to have 1,000 monthly active users. And March, we should hit 10K. And then we're planning on launching an SDK for this, meaning it will allow other app developers to use this as kind of like the messenger of VR. So how you plug in Messenger into your website or like Intercom into your website to make it accessible to consumers. We're doing the same in VR with Knock Knock. Like you can plug this into your app and you get a whiteboard, you get cameras, so you can start sharing your VR experiences. And we have plans on launching our own hardware as well. And that's it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Tehran. Super cool product.
Yeah.
I think you have some customers in the chat as well, so people know about you, and that's a good thing always.
Yeah.
There you go. We'll pass it off to the investors again for some questions.
Awesome.
Are we doing the same order, or should I just go ahead and jump in?
Shake things up. We're trying to keep things interesting here. I was just waiting for Mira to go off mute, but you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Well, yeah, I'm super excited to meet you. Definitely a big fan of the VR category, and think that it's really a growth opportunity, especially in current times. So awesome to see what you're up to and learn more about it. I think that I'm most curious about where you want to lean in as a business. It seems like you've got a lot of different paths here and a lot of different growth opportunities, but with limited capital and limited time, where do you really see yourself spending the money in sort of a use of funds way as well as a use of time way?
Yeah, so the marketplace is working. I see we would need capital for inventory there, but I'm seeing more of the future in Knock Knock or like the other product we're going to develop. The whole idea is I'm in VR for the long run, and it's very wild west, and the whole idea is I want to give people better tools to be able to share their thoughts. So the long run is in making our own products. So it will be used in Knock Knock.
Can you talk a little bit about your strategy as it relates to new customers for Knock Knock? It seems like it's a combination of a B2B versus the marketplace, which is more D2C.
Yeah. So I position Knox Labs to be kind of like a springboard for new entrants in VR, whether that's app or hardware. And since these guys already have established customers, like the brands that we take on, we built like social content around that, and we already reached their end product and audience. So we're building an audience around Knox Labs using an already established brands for creating the funnel. So using the same springboard for Knock Knock. So we have about 250,000 subscribers to our new newsletter. So we're using our own channels to get for first customers. So it is B2B, but on the App Store in Oculus, it has a B2C component where you can use it in solo mode. So you can like host a podcast, put like 3 cameras that will record you with your own background. So you can do your own podcast, your newsroom. You can make like bring in people that are not in VR. So like right now you can do like a Zoom call from there. So it's split into solo and B2B. B2B, we're taking on like a custom works now.
I'll round things out here. Again, really exciting in terms of the vision that you have moving forward. Would be curious to hear as you think about hitting that, $1 million mark at some point, I believe next year. How are you thinking about the need to expand the team?
Yeah, so now I'm in LA. I have a team in Armenia and Hungary. I'm originally from Armenia, so I go back and forth a lot. And another one from SF. He previously founded another like SaaS B2B company, like for the network referrals. So he's doing the B2B sales. A team is going to be expanded in LA and Armenia. So any development mostly will be done in Armenia, as I have a strong background there, and then a good network. And then the government's super helpful in allocating whatever we need. It's a new government there that's like super helpful to startups. So anything technical, it's about third of the price here, and so anything technical is going to be done there. Anything front end like this or customer support business will be done from LA.
Awesome. Any more questions? I think we might have one. Okay, so we have one from one of the viewers, so maybe I'll round it out with this just because we have a couple of extra minutes in the Q&A period here. From Nathan, what do you think about the AR technology, and do you see yourself adopting it when the technology becomes more mainstream?
Yeah, here's the problem with VR and AR right now. Their paradigms, like they're extensions of the paradigms of like the 2D screens and the computers and the mobile phones that we have. They're not standalone yet, where they are their own medium. So it's not built for VR from VR. It's not built like from AR for AR. So I think we're still quite a few years away from that. So the main problem is input. So we have to solve the input method, as like currently it's being done with keyboards and mouse. So it's very it's not good. It's very limited. Like we can't output at the speed of our thought. So main like why we did Rodan before was to make it more accessible for creators to create. So I think next step is actually going to root and tooling a new tool. We see VR and AR living in the bracelet as versus something you wear. So a tool like bracelets that you can wear always on, that become an extension of you and your own body language. So with which this you can input. So I think AR will take on then, and that's why whatever I'm doing is doing towards building these bracelets at the end.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, thanks, Tehran. Great pitch and great answers to the Q&A. I think it's a super cool category, obviously, and you have one of the more unique brands out there. So very happy to have you on to pitch your brand today and what you've done over the last year or so. For now, we're going to kick you off stage. We're going to announce a winner, and then we're going to communicate all the perks. So thanks so much for the pitch. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So I think Wesley might have left as well. So we'll pull him back on stage quickly here while we're going to announce the winner. But just wanted to point out, so we've run 4 episodes at this point. So this will be the 3rd one that we've run on our own at Gorgias. We've had a feature at Fashion Innovation. We're going to do e-commerce day next week. If any brands are watching that want to apply for a future episode, this has been a super cool thing that we've had the opportunity to do. You can just hit that link right there in the chat, go through and apply. I get those applications on the back end, and I'm happy to look through them, of course, and try to match you up with a future episode with some investors. For now, as you guys know, so there's perks that go to the brands that participate. There's some perks, additional perks rather, that go to the winner exclusively. So that's why we do pick one. And so the 3 investors here today, in addition to myself, have picked Max from Triple Bristle as the winner. Very, very close race, of course, and as always. So what we're going to do is we're going to communicate all those benefits to the brands behind the scenes. But for now, what I want to do is I want to quickly thank our co-hosts for this episode, Big Commerce and The Job. They've been fantastic. And also, and most importantly, the investors that we have on this panel, which make this possible. So Nicole, Wesley, and Mira, thanks so much for being here and judging this panel. It's been a great ride. And we're looking forward to episode 5, which is going to take place in a few weeks. And thanks to everyone that tuned in. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a note. It's rohan@gorgias.com. And more than happy to have a chat with anyone that's out there. Great. Thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Bye.